Talking about this to me is necessary because there's only so many times I can talk about look at how they've changed this and they've changed that. And, we know what we're going to get in pop culture. We know what we're going to get. The problem with what's happening in our pulp culture and social media is this is the downstream effect. The changes that are being made, what some of us call the message, what some of us call woke entertainment, it's not meant for someone my age. I'm 50. It's not meant for someone 40. It's meant for children. It's building a world and destroying a mythology in Western canon, the hero's journey for children. Could it be possible that, in addition to that, this type of ideology that's spread as a social contagion, in my opinion, is part of that? This is the face of the agenda. This is the human cost of the agenda. When something comes along that is unique, I think worth of examination, I like to show you. This particular trailer is something that I didn't go looking for, it kind of found me. And it is something that I think all of us can see in our pop culture. We talk about what they've done to Tolkien. We talk about what they've done to The Last of Us. We talk about what they've done to Scooby-Doo, Star Wars, all this, all the nerd stuff, all the geek stuff that we like. And we see messaging, agenda. We see intersectional feminism, and we see what some people call an ideology, which that would be transgenderism. Now, I personally think it is a cult, something more akin to Jonestown. This film is called Dead Name. It is a documentary that shows kids aren't the only victims of this agenda. Their parents are suffering it as well. This was directed by Taylor Reese. There's been an explosion of very young children suddenly deciding that they're not what they were born as. You can look at the data. This was something that very, 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 very rarely happened to primarily young boys. It almost never happened to young girls. And what's happened in the last 10 years? We'll look at the explosion. Filmmaker Matt Walsh did What is a Woman? It's probably the most prominent film that examines what's happening. Now, Dead Name is a new documentary that highlights the parent side of this mania. Dead Name captures the pain and confusion of parents trying to protect their children from this ideology, one that teaches children to despise their own bodies. This film, which is available on Vimeo, follows three parents who are each in very different circumstances when their children claim to be trans. Amy's daughter was 15 when she began to identify. Helen's son was 4. And Bill's son was entering college. Nevertheless, the commonalities that emerged between their cases are explored in this film. Each parent saw the claim of being something they weren't as a sudden product of outside influences. Each parent faced opposition from their children's therapists, all of whom unquestioningly affirmed their children's new identities.
If you want girl parts and you don't have them, you can do special surgery where they turn your penis inside out and there's a vagina inside.
Preschool sends out a letter to all the parents announcing one of our students is now Rosa, and we would love you all to come and celebrate and support her. And he was 4 years old. I didn't even know if he knew what a pronoun was. I go to the daycare a week later to drop him off, and it's Rosa is written on the entrance sheet where I have to sign. Rosa is on his cubby. It's everywhere. And they would just look at me and listen. They would say, Helen, you should really learn to accept this and celebrate it. And I'm like, celebrate what? Celebrate that my child's going to be put on hormones and his penis will never grow and he'll never have a normal sex life and be on drugs for the rest of his life?
This was when she was like 15. I remember being up in her room and she said, I'm trans and I need a new name. Somehow I got a text from CVS. Your prescription for TES is available. She's like, it's mine. You can't take it from me. You can get this by making a phone call and having a tele appointment. I mean, there was no psychological evaluation. There was nothing. Where does our species go if you can cut off your body parts like this?
Sean had set up an appointment with an endocrinologist at the hospital to try to get hormones. I'm looking at it as, hey, this kid just needs to explain to him, hey, he's had a lot of traumatic events through his life, losing his leg. We had an older son that died of a heroin overdose when he was 8 years old. He went through the loss of his mom, being diagnosed with cancer again. I mean, I went through I said all these things have to have a big effect on him. When I had the appointment with the psychiatrist, I was just blown away when she turned around and told me that he's definitely transgender, and you are an unsupportive, abusive father. I'm trying to keep him alive.
What this film seems to do is allows these parents to just talk. And it becomes difficult to watch only because of the anguished love these people have for their children. This film gives a message that there is hope among this type of suffering, in part because sharing the stories of these parents' pain may help to rebut this false belief system. Each case also highlights the distinct untruths and the abuses of the movement. These are real people. They're real children. These are the real effects of an ideology and the messaging that is out there in the entertainment that a lot of us who have YouTube channels like to point out. The director focuses on just 3 stories with only brief expert interviews and additional vignettes at the end of the film, as this allows viewers to connect with these parents, and they are not the bigoted villains that have been portrayed by activists and their large media and high-tech allies. Will I still have a channel after this rolls? Maybe. I'm Salty Traveling C. We'll do something fun next time. Have a good one.